From a young age, society teaches us to prioritize the needs of others and put our own desires on the back burner. We're told that selflessness is a virtue and that taking care of ourselves is selfish. But in reality, self-abandonment can have dire consequences for our well-being. Neglecting our own emotions, opinions, and values can lead to a sense of emptiness and disconnection from our true selves. That's why it's crucial to recognize the signs of self-abandonment and make a conscious effort to prioritize self-care and self-love. So let's dive into the warning signs that you may be neglecting your own needs. People-pleasing. Ever find yourself saying yes to requests, taking on more responsibilities than you can handle, or putting your own goals and desires on the back burner to accommodate others? This is people-pleasing. While it's natural to want to help others, when you constantly prioritize their needs before your own, it can be a sign that you're abandoning yourself. According to therapist and psychology professor, Dr. Teo Smith, individuals who tend to prioritize the satisfaction of others over their own well-being should explore ways of assisting others without causing harm to themselves. You can do this by setting boundaries and respectfully declining tasks that don't align with your comfort level, while still offering your support for the ones that do. Without a solid foundation of self-care, you can't truly be there for others in a sustainable way. You seek external validation. When you always put the needs of others before your own, you can develop a strong subconscious desire to receive praise, recognition, and validation from them as a way to feel good about yourself. But changing yourself to fit others' expectations can result in self-hatred, anxiety, and stress, especially when they fail to validate you. In the words of William Shakespeare, self-love, my liege, is not so vile a sin as self-neglecting. Remember that there is nothing wrong or shameful about who you truly are. When you learn to love yourself and stop seeking external validation, you can authentically integrate every part of yourself into everything you do. This can help you build genuine relationships with others, as well as with yourself. You avoid emotions. This can look like taking on a job that you don't feel comfortable with, being in a friend group that conflicts with your values and prevents you from being your true authentic self, or pushing your emotions to the side. This creates a buildup of anxiety and inner tension. You may try to find comfort in other ways by venting, getting drunk, or eating unhealthily. However, avoiding your emotions only perpetuates the cycle of neglect. Ever feel so much better after a good crying session? According to licensed psychotherapist Sharon Martin, it's important to acknowledge and process your feelings instead of neglecting them when you feel emotionally overwhelmed. You can try journaling, meditating, talking to a friend or therapist, or engaging in activities that bring you joy. If possible, try finding a job or friend group who you feel comfortable and aligned with. When you allow yourself to feel, instead of trying to push your emotions aside, you can breathe, be attentive, and heal from the things you subdue. You don't respect yourself or set boundaries. When you lack self-respect, you may tend to make choices that conflict with your values, which undermines your happiness and self-worth. Building self-respect entails recognizing your worth and establishing healthy boundaries to ensure your needs are met. Setting boundaries is a crucial component of self-care that requires communicating limits to others assertively and clearly. According to psychotherapist Joe Nash, PhD, setting boundaries not only fosters positive relationships, but also correlates with better emotional and mental health and a stronger sense of identity. Failing to set boundaries may result in overextending yourself and neglecting your needs. It's important to communicate your boundaries clearly and assertively, even if it makes you uncomfortable at first. This can look like saying no to requests that don't align with personal values, taking breaks when necessary, and communicating needs in a relationship without feeling guilty or ashamed. How to self-abandon less. Reflect on your situation and ask yourself honest questions. Is it right for you to hold so much tension at work because you're not being your true self? Is your partner's acceptance conditional on you behaving in a certain way? Are your friends expecting you to change to fit in? With social media, we're often conditioned to seek approval from others and do what they want. By being truthful with yourself, you can recognize if you're sacrificing your authentic self for others. Remember, Psych2Goers, value yourself for who you are, not who others think you should be. Set boundaries and say yes only when you truly want to. If you neglect yourself for too long, you risk feeling anxious, depressed, and tense. A good sign that you're on the right path is feeling present and relaxed. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Click the notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Are you looking for a cuddly companion that brings positivity and mental wellness to your daily life? Get your very own Sai. The lovable plushie is here to brighten your days. It embodies the spirit of Psych2Go, and it serves as a reminder to prioritize your mental well-being. Its green leaf symbolizes growth, renewal, and the importance of self-care, whether it's for yourself or as a thoughtful gift for a loved one. Psy is ready to be your snuggly friend through all of life's ups and downs. Buy your Psy plushie today. Link is listed in the description box.
In the realm of human interaction, it is natural to consider the needs and emotions of others. Empathy and compassion play crucial roles in maintaining healthy relationships. However, there is a fine line between genuine care for others and self-abandonment. One way this can manifest is through a psychological defense mechanism known as fawning. This phenomenon was first studied by therapist Pete Walker, who defines fawning as a survival strategy rooted in people-pleasing behavior. It often arises from a deep-rooted fear of rejection or a desire to avoid conflict at any cost. People who engage in fawning tend to prioritize the needs, wants, and emotions of others above their own. They may go to great lengths to please others, sacrificing their own well-being and personal boundaries in the process. With that said, here are 6 telltale signs that you're abandoning yourself for others, according to experts. Difficulty setting boundaries. Struggling to establish and enforce personal boundaries can be a red flag for fawning. When you struggle to set boundaries, it means you have difficulty defining and communicating what is acceptable or unacceptable to you in your relationships. You may fear that asserting your boundaries will lead to conflict or rejection. As a result, you may allow others to overstep your limits, ignore your own needs, and prioritize the needs of others instead. This can lead to a general erosion of your sense of self and self-worth, says Tran. Difficulty expressing opinions. If you find it challenging to express your own opinions, preferences, or beliefs, it may indicate that you are prioritizing the views of others over your own. Authentic self-expression can be challenging because fear of disagreement or disapproval can lead to self-silencing and a loss of your authentic voice. Asserting yourself and voicing your true thoughts, feelings, and opinions can trigger intense guilt or shame because you've internalized the belief that your needs are less important than those of others. Overextending yourself. Another common behavior among those who abandon themselves for others is taking on more responsibilities and tasks than they can reasonably handle. This is because people who struggle with fawning often feel obligated to fix or rescue people from their problems, resulting in an excessive amount of commitment. This overextension can lead to exhaustion, burnout, neglect of self-care, and a lack of time and energy to focus on your own needs and personal growth. Do you like this video so far? If you found this valuable and helpful, please support our work by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. Lack of reciprocity. People who abandon themselves for others often struggle to receive the same level of dedication and emotional support they put into their relationships. So if this rings true for you, you most likely don't even ask or accept support from others because of an internalized belief that your needs are less important or that you must always be the caretaker. But by refusing support, you reinforce the pattern of neglecting your own needs and denying yourself the help that could contribute to your own well-being. Tolerating disrespectful behavior. Continuously tolerating disrespectful or abusive behavior from others without asserting yourself or taking appropriate action is another strong indicator of self-abandonment. Abandoning yourself for others can lead to a tolerance for disrespectful or abusive behavior from others. Due to a fear of conflict or rejection, you may find it challenging to assert yourself or establish boundaries when faced with disrespectful treatment. This tolerance perpetuates the cycle of self-abandonment and can have negative consequences on your self-esteem and overall well-being. Emotional exhaustion. Engaging in fawning behavior can be emotionally draining. Constantly catering to the needs of others can leave you feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, and emotionally depleted. And despite your efforts to please others, you may find that you still feel a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction with yourself. This lack of fulfillment stems from neglecting your own needs and passions in favor of meeting the expectations of others. Constantly neglecting your own needs and feelings can lead to emotional fatigue and potential burnout. These signs highlight the impact self-abandonment can have on various aspects of our lives, including emotional well-being, boundaries, and support systems. Recognizing the signs of fawning and its connection to abandoning oneself for others is crucial for personal growth and well-being. By becoming aware of these patterns, you can begin to work towards reclaiming your sense of self, setting healthy boundaries, and fostering a sense of balance and self-care in your relationships. So, Psych2Goers, what are your thoughts on this video? Did it emotionally resonate with you? If so, how do you plan to return to yourself today? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this valuable or helpful in any way, please support our work by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching!
Has anyone ever told you you were too nice for your own good? Do you often feel like being too much of a people pleaser has a negative impact on your life? While it's easy to beat ourselves up for the way we let people treat us, psychologists have actually discovered that being this way, having a fawn response as they call it, is one of the ways we adapt to perceived threats and internalize our trauma. To be more specific, it was therapist Pete Walker who first studied and wrote about this phenomenon in his book, Complex PTSD, From Surviving to Thriving. Walker, who specializes in cases of CPTSD, defines fawning as a maladaptive way of creating safety in our interpersonal relationships by essentially mirroring the imagined expectations, needs, and desires of others. This happens when our sympathetic nervous system becomes activated due to some perceived threat in our environment. Our bodies will then go into either fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. And when someone experiences something traumatic early on in their life, it can keep them stuck in one of these 4 modes. So basically, fawning is a maladaptive response to extreme psychological stress. With that said, here are 7 telltale signs, according to experts, that your problem with being too nice just might actually be fawning, a manifestation of your trauma. Number 1, you don't feel seen. If you're someone who's prone to fawning, you're probably the go-to person for a lot of people whenever they need a favor or want some help with something. This is because, according to self-help expert Phoebe Preeb, when we fawn, we disregard our own wants and needs and decide in that moment that the one thing that's important is giving the other person what they want and need. And by being too much of a giver, you end up struggling to feel seen by others for who you are as a person and not just what you can do for them. Number 2, your values become compromised. One of the reasons why fawning as a trauma response can impact us so negatively is because it erodes our sense of self. According to an article by the Dawn Wellness Center in Rehab, people fawn to avoid conflict and trauma by over-appeasing people, but this can lead them to compromise their values a lot of the time. People who are like this often find it difficult to stand up for themselves and what they believe in, and instead validate behaviors, attitudes, or views that they don't even agree with. Number 3, you feel responsible for other people's reactions. Another important point brought up by the Dawn Wellness Center in Rehab in the article mentioned earlier was the fawning types tend to feel a misplaced sense of guilt and responsibility over other people's feelings and reactions. In fact, they're usually more invested in the happiness, comfort, and validation of other people than they are in their own. This can manifest as strong feelings of guilt, self-blame, and self-loathing over the negative reactions of others towards things that aren't even their fault or in their control. Number 4, you're terrified of making decisions for others. Similar to our earlier point, fawning as a trauma response can make us terrified of choosing things for other people. Even something as inconsequential as where to eat dinner or recommending a show to someone can leave us reeling from intense dread and panic, wondering, oh no, what if they hate it? Why? Well, according to an article by Psychology Today, This is because your constant need to please others and always looking to them for how you should feel makes you doubt or disregard your own feelings and experiences. Number 5, you feel guilty about getting them angry. According to the mental health experts at Kiron Trauma Clinics, people who tend to fawn as a trauma response commonly experience deep feelings of anger and guilt towards themselves because of it. They don't allow themselves to get angry at others for taking advantage of them or disrespecting their boundaries. Every time they even try to speak up about it, they feel immensely guilty and instead end up enabling and excusing the bad behaviors and mistreatment of others. Number 6, you over-apologize. Much like our earlier point, fawning as a trauma response often results in a lack of personal boundaries, low self-esteem, and loss of personal agency and autonomy. And the most common manifestation of all of these, over-apologizing. This is because fawning often stems from rejection trauma. So, in order to avoid being rejected by others, we learn to take the blame for everything and just apologize to keep the peace. And number 7, you don't know how to say no. Last, but certainly not least, not knowing how to say no to people is arguably the most telling sign of all that being too nice isn't your problem. It's your trauma response, fawning. And according to an article from Psych Central, fawn types are almost always stretched too thin. They're so eager to please other people that they say yes to everything no matter how inconvenient or tiresome. The worst part, however, is that they overwork themselves not because they just genuinely have so much love, energy, and patience to give, but because they fear that the moment they say no, others will immediately turn on them. So, do you relate to any of the things we've mentioned here? Did learning about all these signs make you realize you might be fawning as a result of some unresolved trauma? While we might think that fawning and people-pleasing is the ideal way of building relationships with others, these connections will ultimately be draining, inauthentic, and unfulfilling for us because it doesn't allow us to have our own sense of identity or validate our own feelings and experiences. So, if you are seriously struggling with recovery from trauma, please don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health care professional today and seek help. And to quote self-help guru Phoebe Preeb, being a nice person means making your own wants and needs, but also listening to what other people want and need, and finding a middle ground. This is exercising kind communication, unlike fawning, which is never asserting our own wants and needs. Kindness is not equivalent to being a doormat, erasing your sense of self, or never speaking up for yourself. Are you stuck in a never-ending cycle of people-pleasing, even at the expense of your own well-being? It might be deeper than you think. In this video, we'll explore the signs and effects of fawning, a trauma response that often goes unnoticed. So, what is fawning? Pete Walker, a psychotherapist and PTSD expert, defines fawning as a maladaptive response to create safety in relationships. It involves people-pleasing, mirroring others' expectations, needs, and desires while neglecting one's needs to avoid conflict or harm. But how does fawning come into play? It's one of the 4 fear responses: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And it can be triggered by childhood trauma, domestic violence, bullying, racism, kidnapping, war captivity, cults. However, one can get trapped in fawn mode if our nervous system gets dysregulated due to early or consistent exposure to trauma. So what are the warning signs that your overly nice behavior might be rooted in fawning? Let's find out. Solitary retreat. Do you frequently isolate yourself, preferring your own company over interacting with others? Well, this can be influenced by trauma. Past trauma can make people withdraw from social interactions. It's like a defense mechanism, you know? And there's more to it too. Additionally, fawners shut down their own emotions to satisfy the emotional needs of others. Ultimately, this constant people-pleasing makes fawners mentally and emotionally exhausted. So, to cope with overwhelming demands, fawners create a protective barrier by mentally disconnecting from people. Harmonious appeasement. Fawners often go to extreme lengths to please others and avoid potential conflicts. and are often afraid of saying or doing something that could upset others. This behavior is closely tied to setting high standards and striving for perfection, as fawners worry that any mistake or disagreement could result in losing the people they care about. Apology reflex. Do you constantly say sorry, even when it's not your fault? You always apologize to keep the peace and prevent potential disagreements. It feels like you've got an automatic sorry button. According to psychotherapist Katie McKenna, excessive apologizing is a common characteristic of fawning behavior. If this video is helping you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Helper's burden. Do you constantly find yourself preoccupied with other people's problems but struggle to accept help for yourself? Is it challenging to let others assist you because you prefer to be the one offering help? Fawning can lead individuals to develop a pattern of self-reliance, making it hard to accept help from others and finding it uncomfortable to be on the receiving end of support. Altruistic neglect. Fawners often think about everyone's problems except theirs. Likewise, they often feel a strong need to keep others happy and may disregard their own issues in the process. Do you prioritize solving everyone else's problems? Your kindness and selflessness is admirable, but it's essential to remember that your needs matter too. Perfectionist idealism. Fawners often struggle with perfectionism because they fear failure and feel the need to be perfect in everything they do. Sadly, this pursuit of perfection can lead to ongoing stress and unhappiness when they can't meet their unrealistic expectations. Do you always feel bad when you don't satisfy everyone? Remember, you're human, not a superhero. Suppressed emotional eruptions. Fawners prioritize their loved ones' happiness, making it hard for them to open up during tough times. They fear burdening their loved ones with their issues. As a result, emotions build up and can become overwhelming. Eventually, fawners may have sudden outbursts or find relief by expressing their feelings to strangers or on platforms like social media, where the stakes feel lower. So, are you too nice for your own good? If you can relate to these signs, it's possible that fawning, a trauma response, plays a role in your overly nice behavior. But fear not, change is possible. You hold the power to reclaim your self-worth, learn new behaviors, and unlearn old ones. Being nice doesn't mean sacrificing yourself to please others. It's about finding a middle ground where kindness, self-respect, and self-compassion coexist. So if you feel stuck in fawn mode or are seriously struggling to recover from trauma, know that it's okay to ask a mental health care professional for help. You can be kind and understanding without neglecting your needs. If you're wondering how to start, this video here may help. For more resources, you'll find all relevant studies in the description box below. Remember, you're so special and your well-being is important. Which signs can you relate to? Let us know in the comment section.